Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com, and we're here today to look at another 2020 ski. Just keep rolling out the 2020 ski reviews, although the last one that we looked at was a 2019. But anyways, this is the 2020 Blizzard Brahma 82. Now, a couple things to talk about before we kind of dive into performance and details and all that stuff. The first is, you might be surprised to see a Brahma 82. And something that's kind of happening in the ski industry in general right now is a lot of things are trending narrower. So you can think back to some reviews, some 2020 reviews that we've already done, and even some 2019 reviews from the past. A lot of companies are basically taking an existing model and producing a similar ski, but in a narrower waist width. Enforcer 88 is a great example from Blizzard. Even something like the Rustler 9 is a great example, even though that's not quite as narrow as this. So there's definitely a demand out there for all mountain skis in a narrower range. And I think this Brahma 82 definitely falls into that theme, that overall theme. And it's really kind of interesting in general. The industry for a while was just trending wider and wider and wider. And it's got to the point where manufacturers and skiers are kind of saying, hey, there's benefits to narrow skis. You don't need as high of an edge angle. They're quicker edge to edge. And there definitely are applications for narrow skis like this. So thought we'd mention that to start, that it's kind of a trend. If you ask a lot of ski reps what the current trends are in the industry, a lot of them will tell you just that things are going narrower. So pretty interesting there. And then Blizzard, we're going to keep circling back to this concept throughout this review because it's really the bread and butter and really the kind of the focus of this ski. Blizzard has kind of, almost taken that a step further. But it's a little bit different. Basically, what Blizzard has, their thought process behind this ski is they have identified that there are quite a lot of skiers out there that want a precision, high-performance carving ski, but they're also buying these skis in what's traditionally a fairly wide waist width or width in general for a frontside ski. So you can probably think of a lot off the top of your head. I listed a bunch in the article, but the popular one, the RTM 84 is a very popular ski. There's even an RTM 86. Those skis are very focused on carving performance, but they're offered in a wider width with the sentiment, with the idea that you can use them in different snow conditions. And that's true. It's not like that's not true. And from Blizzard, we've seen Quattro RX and Quattro 8.4 Ti. Same thing with those skis. They're performance frontside driven skis, but the message has been, hey, you can use these in soft snow too because they're wide enough. Again, it's not that that's not true, but Blizzard with this Brahma 82 is basically saying, hey, you can have high performance carving, but we can offer you a ski that's going to be better in ungroomed terrain than if you were on a frontside system ski specifically. So, all those skis that I just talked about, they came with integrated bindings. And while integrated bindings are great, and usually they deliver like really precision feel on firm snow, some have extended binding plates. Blizzard was playing around with that quite a bit. The downside to that is they're heavier. And by having a system binding, often that makes the ski not flex very much underfoot, at least not flex naturally underfoot. And then it's also picking you up higher off the snow. So no more Quattro 8.4, no more Quattro RX. In fact, in Blizzard's line, the widest ski or the widest system carving ski technically is 80. but it's really more like 76. So their Quattro line is almost gone. At least the high-performing models are gone. The real focus for system carving skis is now Firebird, which we saw for 2019, but the line's been expanded for 2020 with the HRC, which is the widest in that line, but still, still in the mid 70 millimeter underfoot range. So the concept behind this Brahma 82 is that it's going to retain a precision feel on groomers or on firm snow. It's going to give you that carving performance that you're looking for, but it's going to be, mount it with your favorite alpine binding, and it's going to be that much more fun in moguls, in trees, and stuff like that. Now, there's probably some of you thinking like, hey, I don't really want to ski a ski that's 82 underfoot in moguls or trees, but there definitely are people out there that do. And I think moguls is a really cool application for this ski. Quicker edge to edge. It's not going to smear and pivot as easier as some skis. Take this and compare it to the Rustler 9. The Rustler 9 is going to be a little better at slower speeds in moguls. But if you're a upper echelon skier, if you're an advanced expert skier and you really know how to ski a down the fall line bump line, this is a really good choice. And there, arguably hasn't been anything like this. Well, I mean, there has, but this is kind of sitting by itself right now, in some sense. And high-end mogul skiers, like World Cup mogul skiers, they're basically on the equivalent to like a GS race ski. So Blizzard Brahma, 82 underfoot, we're getting pretty close to that really performance-driven type of mogul ski. So that's a little bit of an introduction about the Brahma 82. I just think the kind of backstory behind this ski is really cool. So let's talk about the actual ski now. Brahma 82 really retains everything that you know about the Brahma. The Brahma itself is now 88. It's always been 88, but they call it the Brahma 88 now, and this is the Brahma 82. So basically kind of in there, they call it all mountain free ride, but to me it's more all mountain than anything else. Now you have the Brahma 82, you have the Brahma, and you have the Bonafide. And those three skis, well, there's more in the line, but those three skis to me are kind of the bread and butter of that line, and they all essentially share similar shapes and the same construction. So this ski uses the same flip core carbon drive that we're seeing in the regular Brahma and the Bonafide. So basically you've got a poplar and beech wood core sandwiched between two full sheets of metal. So that's always kind of been a staple of this ski, those two full sheets of metal. And then there's bidirectional carbon fiber in the tip. So really good torsional stiffness in the tip, a lot that you can push against when you're entering a turn. Gives it a very powerful feel. And then there's also like a vibration damping pad underneath where the bindings go, and there's two layers of fiberglass. But really the important things to remember about this ski is a fairly dense wood core, poplar and beech, two sheets of metal, bidirectional carbon fiber in the tip. And that all adds up to a pretty darn stiff flex. Not that that's surprising, because the Brahma 88 and the Bonafide have always been pretty stiff flexing skis. Slightly longer turn radius in the Brahma 82, so this 180 is a 16.5. I believe that's a little bit longer than the Brahma 88. I was looking in the catalog, and I'm pretty sure the Brahma 82 has a slightly longer turn radius if you compare dimensions or lengths against each other. I could be mistaken about that, but either way, they're fairly close. So that's basically the gist of it. Rocker profile is basically the same as it's always been, so there's a lot of camber in this ski. It's really mostly camber. Tip rocker, if you decamber it, starts about where my hand is, but it's not high-rise camber. It's not significant tip rocker in my opinion, or high-rise rocker, excuse me. The tail is very similar to the tip. Basically starts where my hand is if you're decambering the ski, and it's fairly low-rise rocker. So, yeah, what about performance? super fun ski. I had a blast on this ski, and I think they pretty much nailed it with their concept behind this ski. I love being on a carving ski. It's really fun. It's not something that I do personally all the time. So, if tomorrow's Saturday and I have the day off, one of my rare days off, if I'm going to the mountain, it doesn't really matter what the conditions are. I'm likely not going to bring a carving ski. But when I do, I really, really enjoy it. And I think there's something to be, I think they're onto something here with the Brahma 82. So let's start with firm snow and kind of compare it to a system ski. If you ski this and then you ski the Firebird HRC or the Firebird WRC or a real dedicated, narrower frontside ski, it's not quite the same power and precision and responsiveness as those skis, but it's really, really close. And I think if you were to ski this back-to-back against, say, a Quattro RX or a Quattro 8.4 Ti, you really wouldn't feel like the ski is lacking anything on groomers. It's more knife-like than the Brahma 88. It's super precise. It's not that much narrower, but it is noticeably quicker, in my opinion, edge-to-edge than the Brahma. Holds an edge as well as you could wish for. And it's just a ripping frontside carving ski, which I think is that's the goal of this ski is to be able to compete with those kind of slightly wider system frontside skis, and I definitely think it does that. Now, along those same lines, because it achieves that high level of performance, and this is something that we've talked about a lot on the Brahma and the Bonafide, it is a fairly demanding ski. I wouldn't put a timid intermediate or even really probably not anybody that kind of identified as an intermediate level skier on this ski. I definitely think there are easier options out there for them. But if you're that advanced to expert level and you love a powerful frontside ski, this thing is pretty darn awesome. Now, I will say I do think it's a little easier than the Brahma 88 and a little easier than the Bonafide, mostly because just being 82 underfoot, it doesn't require quite as high of an edge angle. So the wider the ski, the more you have to get it up on edge to kind of achieve the same performance. So the Brahma 82 isn't really like demanding that's quite the same level edge angle as the 88 or really as the Bonafide. So a little bit more user-friendly there, and I think that carries over to moguls and stuff like that too, which I'll get to. But yeah, overall, this is still a pretty demanding high-performance ski. Again, you're going to want to be at a certain ability level to really get the most out of it. So you're not kind of fighting the performance of the ski. Now, I keep bringing up moguls, and I think that's a really cool kind of type of terrain or area for this ski to kind of focus on and think about the differences between those frontside integrated binding system skis and a ski like this. If you're mounting this with an alpine binding, you're pretty low, keeping a low center of gravity, which in my opinion helps. And then I think this ski is just a lot of fun. Again, if you're an advanced or expert level mogul skier and you want something that'll be able to ski a powerful zipper line, this thing's got plenty of stability in the tip and tail, so you can really drive it down the backside of a mogul. And you're not going to feel like your weight's getting thrown forward and back and you're unbalanced. It's not a powder ski by any means, so if you're skiing moguls on like a really soft snow day, you might find that this gets bogged down. And in my opinion, in that type of situation, that's where a ski like the Rustler 9 is going to be a better mogul ski. So slower speeds, kind of slipping and slarving your turns through the moguls, which often happens when there's fresh snow, deep fresh snow. But a few days or a week after a storm when you're really you want to go out and just ski a zipper mogul line, there's not too many choices out there like the Brahma 82 that give you that kind of precision level performance, which I think is really cool. Now, again, it's you know, put it on the feet of somebody who's like still kind of developing their technique in moguls, and I think it would be more of a hindrance than a benefit. I think it could cause some bad habits if you don't have pretty accomplished technique. But there's a lot of skiers out there that are at that level where a ski like this is really going to benefit them in the long run. So that's the Brahma 82. I think it's a really cool ski. You know, it basically kind of takes everything that we see in the Brahma 88 and basically just makes it narrower. So not like exciting, well, it is exciting, but not like new technologies or new shapes or anything like that. And it's not even like a new or totally new concept. You probably remember the Blizzard Latigo. That was a narrower ski that kind of sat in the same line. But it really feels like Blizzard's kind of doubling down on it now and supporting this new theory by getting rid of those system carving skis over 80 underfoot. So yeah, if you want a ripping frontside carving ski or a ripping carving ski and you want it to be at least over 80 millimeters underfoot, but not too much, you know, you don't want to be on like a really narrow like GS race ski style construction or shape rather. This is a really cool new option. And again, you know, whether you're putting a Jester or Griffin on it or an Attack 13, lots of people were talking about look pivots putting on this ski and kind of comparing that against whatever the high-end system carving ski of your choice is. Definitely really interesting to see the differences between this ski. I think it's more forgiving than those system carving skis. I think it's a little bit more versatile, and you still retain the benefits of having a powerful frontside carving ski. So pretty exciting stuff. This is the Black Pearl 82 next to it, so that's a new ski as well. As is true with all of the Black Pearl skis, it doesn't share the same construction with the Brahma Bonafide men's skis. Definitely lighter weight construction over there, but we've had quite a few testers on the Black Pearl 82 also so far, and they're pretty much finding the same thing that I'm finding with the Brahma 82 and the other skiers that we've had on the Brahma 82. It's a blast when you're carving. And then it's definitely more versatile than, you know, your typical system frontside ski. So just really interesting to see kind of the trend going narrower and narrower. I don't know if anybody out there was expecting a Brahma 82, but I was excited to ski it in the line, or excited to see it in the line, and really, really had fun skiing it. And again, this isn't something that like I would quickly grab on a day of free skiing, but after testing it quite a bit, I think I'm going to pick up something at least in the kind of 80 millimeter range, and I'm hoping I'm going to get a flat ski too, because I do think there's a benefit to a lower center of gravity. Some people out there might want to kind of bring up race plates and leverage ratios and stuff like that. If you're not racing, you know, race plates are great, but personally I like being as close to the snow as possible, and until things get really narrow, because then you're more prone to boot out. That's quite kind of a different conversation anyways. But yeah, as always, let us know if you have any questions. Brand new ski. Pretty excited to see it in the line. And we will continue to test skis. We've got some other reviews already kind of in the pipeline, lined up and ready to go. So keep an eye on Chairlift Chat, keep an eye on the YouTube channel, and we will see you guys on the slopes.